Hearing good things about this one. Good things. Good things. That's my terrible Robert De Niro. The first batch of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is here for 2022. Finally, getting it a little bit late for whatever reason. I haven't even seen it here where I'm at in Ohio quite yet. It comes in at 120.8 proof. 2021, a bit of a down year for ECBP. Are we back? Like I said, been hearing good things about this. Let's find out in the Mash and Drum. What's up, folks? I'm Jason C. from the Mash and Drum, and today we are trying the newest Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, the A122. The last few releases, we've seen a lower proof on these, and this one is down to 120.8, so we're still not looking at the big proof monsters that some of these sometimes can be. And remember, these are small batches. These are not single barrel releases, so if they're using barrels that happen to be in lower ricks with a lower proof point, to make these blends, you know, that could be contributing to it. But I have heard some stuff about that. We'll get to that in a little bit. But for now, let me get this poured. You guys take a closer look. So ECBP is the cast strength 12-year-old version of Heaven Hill's classic Elijah Craig small batch, which is pretty much a bourbon staple for most folks at only 30 bucks, always available. ECBP has always been a great value no matter which way you slice it. Just some batches may be better than others. It's non-chill filter, 12-year age statement, a chance to get this 3 times a year with 3 different releases, about 70 to 100 bucks depending on where you live. When you think about it, it's really hard to beat when you compare it with anything that have stats near it, and there's plenty of bourbons that myself and that we all probably overpay for that doesn't come close to the quality that's in this bottle. So like I said, this one is coming in a relatively low proof, 120.8, which is a trend that we have seen the last few releases. B521 was only 118.2, C921 120.2, which is pretty close to this one. Like I said, they could be using some lower tier barrels and blends, but I have read that Heaven Hill didn't really make a planned decision to go with lower proofs in recent batches. That's just what happened. So this already smells like a freaking rick house just coming out of the glass, which is amazing. All right, guys, you know the deal. 120 proof, non-chill filtered, 120.8 proof. It's the A122. See how it is. Oh, yes. And I'm getting back to like that Elijah Craig barrel proof, that sweet oak note, that really rich oakiness that just balances out the sweetness and just rounds out all the flavors. I think you get a little bit of like a leather characteristic in there too. You know, I feel like last year was a little bit of a down year for Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, so it's nice to kind of smell this again. Maybe a slight dark fruit characteristic, but not getting too much. The more this is opening up, it's just more kind of falling in line with like that peanutty, almost peanut butter, very rich caramel, creme brulee, and super rich sweet oak. I mean, it's as classic as it gets. It smells really good. Let's taste it. Oh yeah, baby. It's super rich. It's very buttery to me, butterscotchy, dark fruit, very rich vanilla sweetness, a lot of caramel. Man, the finish though, it's giving me like that oak, that sweet oak leather. Damn. Nice punch of cinnamon on the back end there, some spice. Again, it drinks nice, and I feel like even at 120 proof, even the finish for me, it's long, it's lingering, but it's flavor. It's also not drying me out, which sometimes happens with Elijah Craig. Even if you compare it to like a Booker's, which is a cast strength, obviously Booker's is half the age of this, but Booker's, even with that complexity and the high proof, can sometimes have a drying effect, where this I'm not getting it. For this one, it's very just sweet, rich, balanced. It's probably, no, let me get another sip before I say that. Yeah, to me, this is a perfect representation of a really, really good Elijah Craig barrel proof, like a Heaven Hill profile. You got the nuttiness characteristic, very rich caramel, very rich, a little bit of a butterscotch note, or maybe a little more of like a, almost like a burnt toffee. You got like this rick housey, sweet oak, nice aged oak, that 12-year oak that just, that just rounds out the back end of this with a little bit of a leather, maybe a little bit of a sweet tobacco note on the back end of it, some cinnamon, nice little rye spice there. All right, so I'm gonna do a quick comparison to the B520 because that was one of my favorite batches. I would love to throw the C920 in there, but apparently I drank all of it. All right, so both the B and the C from 2020 were in my top 10 bourbons of the year. Like I said, apparently I don't have the C920 anymore, it's gone. But I do have some B520. I did get it back up. I have pretty full bottle of this one left. So let's do a quick comparison. I think the year 2020 was a really good year for Elijah Craig barrel proof. Let's see how it stacks up. Actually, the noses for me, the B520 is coming off a little bit more oaky, a little bit more of an oaky type of profile in the nose. But the A122 is actually coming off a little bit sweeter to me. When you compare the noses side to side, you do get that beautiful sweet oak still from A122, but I think it's just a little bit sweeter than what I'm actually getting on the B520. Oh, the B520 just has all the things. I love it. All the things I want. A little bit of toffee. That butterscotch note hits hard in the B520, which is probably why it was one of my favorites. All right, let's try the B520 here. Ooh, dark fruit too. I just almost got like a rich, like black cherry note. Hell yeah. I friggin' forgot how good B520 is. Holy shit. If this was Ric Flair tasting this, he'd say, woo! It's live and it comes! All right, A122. You know what? A122, it's close. I think I still prefer B520, but it's nice to see Elijah Craig barrel proof get back on this track for 2022. I mean, they're pretty close. To me, for my palate, just personally, and really guys, I mean, this is splitting hairs. They're both ridiculously good and great values no matter which way you slice it. But for my palate, I'm just getting a little bit more depth of flavor on B520, which I can appreciate. The A122 though, I mean, it gets close. Definitely a lot closer than I remember any of the batches coming to it last year. Yeah, it's damn good. Like I said, no matter which way you look at it, an Elijah Craig barrel proof, a 12-year-old cask strength bourbon for about $100 and sometimes less, maybe 70 to 100. And coming from one of the best and biggest distilleries in the land, I mean, you can't go wrong. So what I will say is, yeah, definitely buy it. I mean, you're probably gonna buy it no matter what I say, but A122 is definitely worth the hunt. If you get Elijah Craig barrel proof where you are, definitely look for one. It kind of gets it back on track here. Now that we have this A122 and how good it is, I cannot wait for B522, which is like in friggin' 2 months, and then the C922, and the C's usually end up being my favorite, so we'll see how it shakes out. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this quick look at Elijah Craig barrel proof A122. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the subscribe button below. Let me know down in the comments if you've had this one yet, if you've compared it like I did. I think I have a couple of other batches I want to compare it to. If you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram as well. And like I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. So cheers. I'll see you next time right here on The Master and Drum. Take care, everybody.